What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. In this video, we're going to be covering the exact strategy I used to make around $10,500 in the last 24 hours. We did just touch back down in Florida here, so new setup. Everything's still looking a little fucked over here in the new house, but let's get right into the trading because this was actually a really good trade. It was on a token called Toby, and we've opened one more trade. I am eyeing a few things to hopefully end the year off really strong here. At the time of recording this, I think this is December 9th, 10th. So I'm only looking honestly to trade like 3-4 more days of the year unless some crazy opportunity presents itself. Mostly because this market's been kind of shit the last month. There's just not been that many runners, a lot of chop, and just kind of not giving the setups that I honestly want to be looking for. So if the market doesn't give way, we're just going to be taking what's coming and taking it one day at a time. But let's get right into the video. Let's go. Okay, what is up, guys? So let's get right into the video. You can see here on the screen, 10.2K in profit so far. We're still holding 5.7K in this wallet, and then there's a little bit being held in another wallet. I do think this is a $20 million token. I'm going to explain why, what I'm wanting, tracking, who, how I'm doing it, my setup, everything like that. So first of all, the entire crypto market comes down to what majors are doing. So right now in the crypto market, things are looking a lot better. They just announced that they're cutting interest rates by, I believe it was a quarter point. Yeah, quarter point, which is what we thought was going to happen. So the market obviously didn't pump, but things are looking relatively good. ETH has been showing an insane move, honestly, and same with Bitcoin. Now, the Bitcoin price action has been super fucking weird lately. I'm not gonna lie. Every single pump just gets sold on, honestly. So it's been doing some really weird stuff. But I do believe actually that we're going to go back to around this $98,000 to around $105,000 mark. And then I'm going to be looking to take a lot of profits on pretty much everything right around here, because depending on what happens is we're either going to go back down, and then this would obviously be, basically like a double pop, we can say, or what's going to happen is we're going to go sideways here, break through, potentially go all-time highs. So I'm ready for both, but then again, I just don't want to be in a situation where I'm caught off guard, have too much money exposed. So I want to be stacking small wins. So regarding to this Toby trade, which is still open right now, the chart's actually looking really good. Even on a dip, I might consider sizing back in. Again, I am holding still around $10,000 across some other wallets. So again, I do think this is like a $20 million coin at the very least. Why? So every single launchpad needs a mascot, right? So Toby is the mascot of a launchpad called DegenPad, okay? DegenPad is powered by a exchange, which is called ZoomX. And ZoomX is a big exchange, and their parent company or sister exchange is Bybit. Now, Bybit is obviously the second biggest exchange in the world other than Binance. And so the theory is that Bybit will support its sister company, ZoomX, who would, ZoomX obviously owns a whole bunch of Toby tokens, and they're going to obviously support DegenPad because it's their company as well that they launched. And then they're going to, in theory, then support Toby. And so this is kind of the thesis. And I do think the supply is pretty bundled here, probably 95-96%. If I had to take a wild guess, again, the chart looks really good. And this was basically just a trade that we got into around $5 million is when I called it in the Discord for everybody that was following the trade here. And it's looking really good. Even if I go and I look at the VWAP, I can see that it is Sentry bouncing right above the VWAP. So every time it comes down to the VWAP, it bounces. And then every time it goes under the VWAP, it should bounce. So here it is trending right around the VWAP, it bounced down, bounced up, came back to the VWAP, bounced down, bounced up, back to the VWAP, bounced down, bounced up. So it's actually really good. Now, what this means is because it's not trading really high above VWAP, it's actually not bad value at all right now. If I see a coin that's VWAP's here, but it's trading over here, I'm like, okay, that's probably not good because the volume weighted, the average person that's bought in is around this mark here. But if it's trading around this $20 million, $30 million mark, it's probably overpriced or a lot of FOMO, a lot of hype. And so people are just blasting in super high. The only reason I took a little more profits on this than I probably should have, selling a little too early, is because I got pretty wrecked on a different trade. So I want to just get a win in the books, secure profit, and essentially live to fight another day. And that's the thing, guys, every single trade is not going to be your home run trade that retires you. Although looking at this chart, like this looks like it's going a lot higher, but nonetheless, like sometimes given the market's been like super choppy, not that good, sometimes you just want to capture a win, live to fight another day, make some money, like 10,000, maybe this turns into a $20,000, $30,000 trade. Like that's good enough for this week or this month, depending on what the month brings. I think I'm going to keep trading until around December 25th when some friends come down to Florida, and then I'll stop trading for the year because I don't want to start like gambling that profit away. But typically, like that is enough. You know what I mean? Like you don't need to go and size in 20K to a trade. I hope you get 5x, a 100K trade. Sometimes 10, 20K on a trade, and then you find another one. That is completely fine. You'll also notice in my trading, like I don't have that many trades open at the same time, particularly because I want to focus on the marketing, the team, what's going on. Every single time you open a new trade, there's a multitude of probabilities of things that can go wrong. And so if you're not paying attention, you're never going to know when to sell, when to take profits, what to do, what the marketing team's doing. Like you're going to have no information. You're going to be in there blind trying to figure out, should I buy, should I sell, should I DCA more, should I fully clip out? You're not going to have any fucking clue of what's going on. And this is what I typically see when people are like, oh, I'm going to buy this coin. Why? I don't know. Why don't you know? What's the team doing for marketing? I don't know. Why don't you know? Does the token look strong? I don't know. Why don't you know? Is there good volume? I don't know. Why don't you know? These are all questions you want to be asking yourself so you don't find yourself in a situation where you open your Phantom One and you're down $20,000 and you're like, damn, what the fuck happened, right? And so you want to be proactive and try to think about what if you were the team, what they would do next. If the coin's on a huge dump, you think it's most likely that they're probably going to buy the chart back. If a lot of people are calling coin at 5 mil and now it's under that, is there a high probability that it would trade back to where it was previously called at? Because people's reputations are on the line. Where's the VWAP? Like these are all things to look at and take consideration of. And then having a main thesis like we had here for Toby is going to be really good. That DGen Pad would end up backing this coin, and then obviously Bybit will hopefully come and back it pretty soon. And so again, I do think this will be potentially like a $20,000, $30,000 plus P&L, and I think it's going to do really well. Now, with that being said, some other things that I'm actually looking at as well would just be to size into useless coin. This is the only other coin that I am kind of like considering full porting. Why? Well, if we look at like some other coins, they have gone and decimated. If we bring this all the way down, this is down to around 81%. Now it's on a dip back to 77%. VMAP's capitulation of buying this coin would be around the 90% drawdown, which we never hit, which is the only scary part, which would put this coin sadly at like a $40-50 million market cap. And so if it ever does hit there, like I probably will be full porting like at least 100K into this trade, because I do think that right around that 40 to 50 cent mark, right around here, this would be 4 to 5 cents, sorry, mark, this would be probably be the best risk to reward, where it can easily pump 2, 3, 4x from the bottom, and it would still be a big enough market cap where you would have enough liquidity in the coin to actually sell, even if it does something like this and then something like this and it pops back. Like you're going to grab a 2, 3x. And the only reason I'm bringing this up is because this is the same thing we saw happen with Fartcoin recently, where everyone, you know, if you actually draw this down, right? So the first run up was give or take 91% drawdown from like the peak to the absolute bottom, right? Now, I'm not saying it's going to do something like this, because obviously this would have been a 6, 7x, and that's obviously like insane. But I do think if you were to buy absolute bottom again here, which this came down about 90, I'm correct here, 93%, right? Including this wick on 1010, but 93% here, and this bounces already like a 2x give or take from 20 cents to 40 cents. So do I think it's possible that it would do something like this? And then that's fine. You're selling at 3x, no problem. That's completely fine. And if you have a 100K trade on this, you're going to be doing really good. So these are kind of the situations that I'm looking for now to size into and see, you know, what I can do, especially going into Q1, where I do think it's going to be pretty bullish outlook for the year. And if this setup does present itself, I definitely will be taking it and calling it in my Telegram, as well as the mastermind group, where I'm posting all my calls, what I'm doing, what I'm buying, what I'm selling, everything like this. So if you want plays like Toby handed to you on a silver platter, and Valor, even though we called like, I guess 2 weeks ago here, 1.8 mil, went to like 15 mil, did more than a 10x, and you want that handed to you on a silver platter, then you can just book a time down below and we can chat and see if you're a good fit. But this is what I'm typically looking looking at, and that is basically the trade recap for today. And I'm going to be posting another video soon. I don't know if this is going to be up, about buying my dream watch as well, which I did get. So if I have posted that by now when you're seeing this video, that's sweet. If not, I'm going to link it down below to check it out, because that was a really cool achievement that I did before the end of this year, which I was working towards that for a super long time. Other than that, we are going to see you in the next video where I talk about actually a losing trade that I had and why it was a noble loss in trading in general. There's basically 4 types of trades you can have. One is a trade where you have a good thesis, you make a good decision, you win. Great. 2, you have a good thesis, you have a good entry, but it doesn't work out. I consider that like a noble loss. 3 is you have bad entries and a bad thesis, but the coin pumps and you get lucky. Great, you made money, but like that's not a repeatable system and you're going to lose over time if you do that. And then the 4th one is you have a bad entry, you FOMO'd in on a bad coin that you shouldn't be in and you lost money. And then those are the ones that you want to like beat yourself up over, because you shouldn't have been in that situation to begin with. I think on the last trade that we'll cover in the next video where I lost some money, that was a really noble loss. And we'll even go over why I think it's a good buying opportunity now and why I think that could turn into actually like a 5x trade from here. So nonetheless, we'll see you in the next video. Thanks so much for watching. Drop a like, please subscribe. I'm trying to grow this channel a bunch, come at you with some really helpful videos as well. So let me know what you want to see down in the comments, and we'll see you in the next video. Let's go.